excitement of the chase, the lure of the exotic, the shock of the unexpected, the breathlessness of suspense, the amazing escapes. Cliffhangers, 3 new chapters filled with menace, surprises, romance, death-defying action, astonishing adventures into the unknown. And just when all looks hopeless against impossible odds, the thrill of the rescue. Cliffhangers, bringing you tonight Chapter 2 of Stop Susan Williams, Chapter 3 of The Secret Empire, and Chapter 6 of The Curse of Dracula. All 3 tonight on Cliffhangers. For the robot. Believing her brother may have been murdered, news photographer Susan Williams was searching his New York apartment for some clue to the truth, when suddenly...
You okay, miss?
She fell!
Is there a doctor around?
Poor girl. Can we find a policeman?
Well, somebody call an ambulance. Is she all right? Look, she's all right.
Somebody do
something. She had the address book when you pushed her off the ledge? Well, in that case, we must stop her quickly and permanently.
Someone is trying to kill me just like they killed my brother.
Look, kid, Alan was one of the best reporters on this paper. I loved him like a son. But he's gone, Susan. His death was an accident.
No.
You saw the coroner's report yourself.
I saw it, but I don't believe it. I want to go to Morocco.
Morocco? What's in Morocco?
A man by the name of Jack Schoengarth. Now, look at this. I found it behind my photograph in Alan's apartment last night, and I'll bet you it's what the burglar was after. Look at the last page there. 7 names and addresses: Tokyo, Berlin, Marrakesh, Rio, all the places Alan was right before he was killed.
Friends, contacts, but it doesn't prove anything.
Bobby, you didn't hear his voice when he called that last night. Now, he said he was on the verge of breaking the biggest story anyone ever uncovered. An international conspiracy
To reap a vast fortune by an event which would shock the world, you told me. But even if it is true, whatever Alan knew died with him.
Well, then maybe one of these people can tell us. Or maybe they're all a part of this puzzle.
Susan, don't do this to yourself.
Well, turn the page. Look at the next page.
May 15th, circled in red.
An event that would shock the world. Less than 3 weeks away.
Oh, come on. You don't know that. It could just be a girlfriend's birthday or something.
Well, I'm going to Morocco and any place else I have to go to find out the truth. Now, is the dispatch going to pick up my tab, or do I charge it and make the easy monthly installments myself?
This newspaper has trouble picking up my lunch tab. Do you know how much heat I'm already taking from the publisher?
Forget it. Fly
Sue,
out.
Sue, you don't know anything about investigative reporting?
Yeah, well, nothing like on-the-job training.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We get exclusive rights to your photo coverage?
Of course you do. Well, now listen, Bobby, we owe it to Alan.
Yeah. You just stay in close touch. Because if Alan was onto something, I don't want anything happening to you. Fly, coach.
Could you tell me where Jack Schoengarth is? Jack Schoengarth?
Who wants to know?
Susan Williams.
What's a Susan Williams?
Alan Williams' sister.
So?
He was killed 4 days ago.
Take your tambourine and beat it, sweetheart. Why'd you come to me?
Because I think you might have some idea who killed him.
Why?
Because you were one of the last people that he spoke with, and you were friends.
He was an acquaintance.
Where'd you meet him?
In Algiers during the fighting. He was writing about it.
What side were you fighting for?
Both sides. One at a time, of course. Whoever pays the freight, Jack Schoengarth don't stick his neck out for nobody. Unless, of course, they got a big bankroll. Yeah, Alan and I were in a couple big battles together. He got hurt pretty bad one time, put a big scar on his left shoulder.
His right shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was. 4 days ago, huh? How'd he buy it?
Hit and run.
Accident, huh?
No, it wasn't an accident.
How do you know?
Because Alan was on the verge of breaking the biggest story of his career. He said that it had major international implications.
Well, it don't have anything to do with me.
Alan said it did. He said you know about the conspiracy, too. Well?
Listen, sister, keep your voice down. This is no Park Avenue penthouse. People still get their tongues cut out in Marrakesh.
Then you tell me what I want to know, or I'll talk so loud there'll be nothing left of you but a nicotine stain and a breath of alcohol.
Where you staying?
At the Chalet Hotel.
See you around.
Wait a minute.
I said I'll see you around.
Hey, baby. What do you say to a little snort?
Excuse me, little snort.
Susan Williams. She is staying upstairs at room 204.
What are the instructions?
You are to be certain that her death appears accidental.
So there will be no further inquiry?
Exactly. May 15th is rapidly approaching. They will not tolerate another Alan Williams situation.
Very well. Her death will be swift and simple.
And accidental.
Of course. Such accidents are not uncommon.
Susan Williams met her death? And at whose hand? From whom comes the order to kill her? Who is the mysterious figure Susan saw in Alan's apartment? And what is the forthcoming event that will shock the world? Some of the answers lie in Chapter 3, Jungle Death Trap, the next frightening chapter of Stop Susan Williams. This week's chapter of The Secret Empire, following immediately. Touch that dial. It's time for Chapter 3 of The Secret Empire, portions of which are in beautiful black and white. investigating stolen gold shipments in Wyoming of 1880. U.S. Marshal Jim Donner was led into an ambush by the mysterious Phantom Riders. Jim has escaped, taking with him a strange key belonging to them.
Pretty deep between the trapezius and the infraspinatus.
Well, I'm glad it's there instead of someplace else.
Not used to a female working on you?
No, ma'am. Why don't you call yourself Dr. Millie Thompson like everyone else around here does?
Because I don't have a degree.
Oh, great.
Relax. I monitored all my brother's classes at Harvard. They just wouldn't give me a formal degree.
Do you mind if I ask why?
Because I'm a woman. And the college said it just isn't done.
Why'd you come to Cheyenne?
Well, somebody gets a bullet in them out here. They don't care if you're male or female, just as long as you can get it out. How long you been a marshal?
About 20 minutes. I was a deputy for 3 years down in Denver, where I grew up.
So, this is your first assignment as a marshal.
Right. Going well, isn't it?
Well, at least we've got the bullet out. Only it's not a bullet.
What?
You said there was an explosion?
A half dozen or so. Maybe it's a piece of rock.
No, look at it. It's metal, all right. Not like any metal I've ever seen. The same? Where did you get it?
I took it off one of them during the fight.
Looks like some sort of key. Where do you think these Phantom Riders come from?
I don't know. I'd sure like to find out where they're taking those gold shipments they've stolen. That theft today was the 5th one.
The drivers that got robbed can't tell you anything?
It's very strange. They only have vague recollections of the riders. As if they're drugged or something.
So, you're the only one who's had a closer look.
Marshal! Marshal, I just seen him.
Billy.
It's the truth, Doc.
You said it was the truth when you came in here with the story about the two-headed calf and the frog that could jump all the way to St. Louis?
Billy, what is it?
They had one like that. The one with the gold belt around him.
Where'd you see him?
I was hunting jackrabbits out on Vasquez Rocks. They rode up. The sun was in my eyes. They were hard to see.
What happened?
They rode around to the other side of the rocks. I snuck around to look, but they were gone. They weren't out on the mesa. They weren't anywhere. They just disappeared. It was scary. Like they were ghosts.
I didn't see anything either.
Nope.
Marshal. Marshal!
Don't tell me you caught him with your bare hands.
Marshal! What's that? They're horses. The gold wagon. But where are they? They just disappeared. Marshall! What is it? It's cold.
Has been discovered at the Plaza level interchange. She must be captured immediately. Attention, Shadow Guards Unit 14. Attention. One of the Parsons has been discovered at the Plaza level interchange. She must be captured immediately. and 23. Attention. One of the partisans is fleeing from the plaza level toward the Terminix crossover. She must be apprehended immediately. Attention Shadow Guards units 23 and 24. Attention. The second partisan has joined the first. They are attempting escape through the Terminix.
There they are. Let's get them off.
TC 1, 3, and 4. Attention Shadow Guards Unit 11. The two partisans have fled to the Terminix and are believed to be in Quadrant 2 or 3 of the Imperial Court. They are to be captured immediately.
Who are you?
Name's Donner. Jim.
Thank you, Donna Jim. Quadrant 2.
What is this place?
You're from above. They'll kill you if they find you.
Who will?
Thorvald and his followers. He's made himself dictator here. And now he's building war machines to extend his reign to the surface.
But what is this place?
Dangerous. Very dangerous for you, Donner Jim. Come on. Come on.
Jim Donner met his doom? Will Billy be captured by the Phantom Riders? Who is the mysterious Tara? Will the dictator Thorvald continue to hold his iron grasp over the people of this startling city beneath the earth? For the answers to these and other questions, don't miss the next exciting chapter of The Secret Empire. Chapter 3, Prisoner of the Empire. Stay tuned for this week's chapter of The Curse of Dracula, following immediately.
To survive continues. Tonight, Van Helsing and Gibbons destroyed another box of my sacred earth, of Transylvania. But this time, I may have destroyed them also.
Sleeping again.
Curtis, gasoline!
Quick, back door, come on.
What's wrong?
that door. It's locked, too. Come on this way. My shoulder.
He brought 20 boxes of his native soil that we know of. And so far, we've destroyed 13. Your grandfather would be proud of us.
Grandfather, Hannian.
Shoulder bothering you?
No, Hannian. Give me more flack about how much we're using of the Perkins computer.
Kurt, why don't we tell him who we're looking for?
For the same reason we can't tell the police. They think we're a couple of loonies. Well, Kurt, looking for a vampire, are you? That's fascinating. Would you mind cleaning out your desk and using another university's facilities?
The computer find anything new yet?
Not yet. The cross-referencing takes forever. It took us 3 weeks to end up at that barn the other night.
What?
As a professor of Eastern European history, he teaches down at South Bay College.
So?
Apparently, he only teaches night courses.
And it's a perfect course for the Count to instruct, huh?
Sure. He lived in Eastern Europe for 500 years.
So you can see that Crown Prince Rudolph was still anxious to spread his wild oats, and it was difficult to blame him. Princess Stephanie of Belgium was about as exciting as a stale glass of beer. And very nearly as flat. Poor Prince Rudolph. Made quite a scandal of himself that night in Vienna. His wedding feast. New Year's Eve, 1888. The palace of the Emperor Franz Joseph was beautiful. The candlelight made the gold leaf on the carved woodwork seem to glow from within. The magnificent crystal chandelier caught this flickering light and scattered it prismatically like 1,000 diamonds. The fragrances of many exotic perfumes filled the air, commingled with the clean smell of starch in the stiff Prussian army dress uniforms. The women of the court were attired in the most exquisite gowns of velvet, deep shades of burgundy, violet, midnight blue, tiny seed pearls embroidered upon the rich material in layers. Gold and precious stones crowned their heads and tiaras, and draped in stunning strands around their beautiful necks. It was on that night of his wedding that Rudolph met a most beautiful and enchanting young girl, Mary Vetsara. Her eyes sparkled with desire and yearning for the dashing young prince. In 1 week, they would be lovers. In 1 month, they would be dead in each other's arms in the hunting lodge at Meyerling. We will continue on Thursday.
That's not fair.
Come on, don't leave us hanging.
We want to know what happened.
Thursday.
such a romantic story.
Yes, but so tragic.
You really have a knack for making the past come alive.
I want my classes to be interesting.
Your description of the Imperial Palace on that New Year's Eve made me feel as though you'd actually been there.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. What about that one?
This star is Alberio in the constellation of Cygnus the Swan. You see? It is at her head, her two wings, and at the tail is Dinette.
Isn't Cygnus also referred to as the Northern Cross?
I prefer to think of it as a swan.
I'm beginning to think that you know all the stars. We haven't pointed to one yet that you can't tell us about.
Well, I've done a great deal of stargazing in my time. In fact, I have just come across my old telescope. Would you like to look through it? Perhaps have some wine?
Yeah, that would be terrific.
Okay.
Are you coming, my dear?
You live nearby?
Yes.
Here in San Francisco.
Oh, me too. I tried going to school back east, but you missed the fog, huh?
Really beautiful the last few nights, hasn't it?
Do you think it'll be too foggy tonight to see the star? This car really moves.
Please, stop!
Why so fast?
Don't like being tailgated.
Hey, Professor, did you ever think of driving at Le Mans?
It's incredible. I live quite well on a professor's income.
I come from old money.
It's lovely. You've been teaching at the university all semester?
Yes.
You seem very popular. Your students are quite drawn to you.
And you?
I'm curious
Indeed.
about your background, your origins.
I think you know a great deal about me already. Don't you, Mary? Your new hairstyle is very flattering, but it is not really you. So, you and the young Van Helsing escaped again. My compliments. You are good survivors. Will you tell me something? What is so important that you cannot leave me in peace?
You killed my mother.
Who was your mother?
Amanda Gibbons.
I will tell you something, young lady. In my lifetime, I have known many women. I have loved only a few. I loved your mother.
You love nothing except the darkness.
The night. Yes. But you misunderstand. I do not love the night and the darkness. I am condemned to it. Do you know that I have not seen the daylight for 512 years? Can you imagine living that long and never seeing the blue of the sky? Never seeing the reflection of the sunlight on the sea? Would you not long for those things if you were deprived of them? When this curse was first placed upon my shoulders, I thought I would go insane. I tried to tear my own heart from my bosom. But gradually I grew resigned to my destiny. There are many addictions, you know, alcohol, drugs. But the most potent is the addiction to life. To be alive. However lonely it may be. Your mother brought me warmth and understanding like few I have ever known. Who taught you that the constellation Cygnus the Swan is also the Northern Cross?
My mother.
As I thought. She loved the stars. Knew a great deal of astronomy. Many times we lay beside each other in the heather, gazing at Hercules kneeling in the heavens before us. She was a loving and gentle woman. Your mother, Amanda.
And you killed her.
But I did love her.
But you killed her!
There is a passion within me which I cannot control. A passion to live. To possess. I should like to possess you, Mary.
We've got to... No. Please. No. Kurt!
Van Helsing will be of no further help. In a few moments, the broken fuel line in his car will rid me of him permanently.
Is this the end for Kurt Von Helsing? Is Mary marked for doom? For the surprising answers, don't miss Bloodstream, the next chilling chapter of The Curse of Dracula.
Tomorrow, come aboard for thrilling mystery on Supertrain, starring Roy Finnis and Loretta Swit. Double identity leads to deadly double jeopardy when a presidential candidate is kidnapped by his twin brother. Then see the explosive conclusion of From Here to Eternity, starring William Devane and Natalie Wood. Stay tuned now for Paul Newman starring as the icy cool private eye Lou Harper in The Drowning Pool, next on NBC.